Morning everyone. Time to start a new video. In the last video we got the concrete foundations done. That was like 2 weeks ago. They've been setting ever since. Hey puss, you on the hunt? You on the hunt for a mouse? And yeah, there's 2 weeks setting now, so I'm going to start taking the forms off. I haven't been doing too much for the last couple of weeks, just trying to get myself ready for this really hectic month ahead when we start doing the framing. So yeah, let's go up the top and get the forms off. Hopefully the concrete looks good underneath. So that has turned out really well. They're all getting that chamfered edge, which I'm hand cutting with a grinder. But yeah, well happy with that. So a few people in the last video were asking about drainage and saying, oh, you should put in some drainage. It's getting the drainage system, it's just I'm just not ready for it yet. Between these pillars is stone walls getting built, and then in this gap behind here, this is a French drain that takes water down. There's a drainage ditch down on the other side of this building in that wet spot over there. It's like a boggy area with a drainage ditch, so yeah, there's French drain going in here with clean gravel, and all this runoff from this field goes behind the building. So there's a wall built between these two. It's just that the framers are going to be here before I'm going to have a chance to do that, so we just need to get that done before the winter. So we've got ages, no rush for doing that. Right, got all the forms off. It actually took a long time. The one I filmed was really easy. They came straight off. Some of them were kind of buried a little bit deeper, and it's taken me and a helper all day to get them off. So tomorrow I'll get them all chamfered, tidied up, and then we need to put some fines down, get it levelled off, and then that's it, done, ready to put a temporary structure over it all. So it's skin off my knuckle as well. Yeah, carry on tomorrow. Morning everyone. So yesterday took all day to get those forms off. Some of them were just absolutely jammed in there. Of course we could have just cut them off at the bottom, but decided I'd rather get the plywood out where possible. So, but yeah, it was a battle. But yeah, today I'm going to cut all the corners off, chamfer them, tidy them up, and then I'm going to try and get some fine stone delivered, just to get it all nice and flat and level, because the flatter and leveler it is, the quicker it'll be doing the joinery, because we won't have to mess around propping up stands and things, trying to get things level. And then we're going to get on to the milling, do some more milling. And after they're chamfered off, quite tidy really. I'm pretty happy with them. So after filming that first one, I just had to put my ear defenders in, put a podcast on, and just grind all day. There's 19 pillars and 4 edges on each one. You know, it takes about 5 minutes to cut each edge or so, something like that. Get them all worked out and marked up and nicely looking. You know, it was 6 hours of solid grinding to chamfer all those edges, but they did turn out really nice, and it's much better doing it like that. Got much better finish by doing it like that than if I'd have tried to form them in the concrete. So yeah, so I just spent the rest of the day doing that. I got through about 20 batteries on the grinder and just a lot of podcasts. Yeah, it went well. I'm really pleased with it. Oh, what a big tiger. What a big tiger. Should we get to work? Morning, everyone. Come on, let's go to work. Come on. Time for work. Come on. Morning, everyone. Oh, I've got this dirty lens. That's better. Right, so I've got 10 tonne of stone coming. Is she coming? No. Got 10 tonne of stone coming later on today, but only at like, I don't know, 2 or something like that. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to get on and get a bit of milling done. It's a cold northerly wind today, so, oh, but yeah, we'll get a bit of milling done and then we'll get back on the foundation. Right, up at the mill, had a bit of a bad start. The button on the winch got jammed, and it just kept going up and up and up, and I couldn't stop it, and it broke the bracket that holds the fuel tank because it hit that bar. So I've got it cable tied on at the minute just to get me through today. But yeah, so that's annoying. But right, I've got this big nice log on here and to get a nice 8x10 out of it, and also I'm going to take these slabs off and then resaw them, and they're going to become 2x4s for the temporary building. So we get a load of 2x4s off of all these edges and a few cladding boards as well. Yeah, and then we'll be on our way to having the timber for the temporary building as well. A lot of people when milling will now do this edge, so you don't have to turn it as many times. But that's a really good way of ending up with a parallelogram. If you've got any discrepancies, if you do opposite faces, you're less likely to end up with a parallelogram. That's what you do generally when you're doing woodwork, is you don't work your way around a square, you do opposite faces and then square off those. So that's what I do. It just means a lot more turning. Yeah, get this turned around and then we'll make some cuts. So really, ideally, I have the small end up the other end, but when they're the wrong way around like this, I have to get measurements from this end. So that's my timber I want, that's centred on the tip. And then I want to get a 50mm out of that, 52x4 out of that. So then if I set that there, I can set a 0 on my gauge here. Well, I'll set it at 350, remember that. And then I come up and go back this end. And then when I'm at 350 there, that's going to leave me that 50mm. So I'm going to come out here, leave me that 50mm. So I'll make another cut then, put that slab down there to resaw into 2x4s. I'll do the same over here, same over here. And then we'll end up with a timber and 4 slabs we'll then get 2x4s out of. Well, maybe not that one actually, but yeah, we'll try. Forgot to bring my sawdust bucket up, so I'll go down and get that at lunch, but for now I'll just let it go on the floor because it's only a bit of sawdust, isn't it? Here we go. Ear defenders. digest. So yeah, I ended up with a little bit more sapwood on this edge than I'd have liked, but it's okay. We'll just face that upwards and it'll be fine. Yeah, nice timber. What is it, 8 by 10? So we got a couple of cladding boards, nice 8 by 10, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 2x4s. That's good going, really. They're not great 2x4s, but they're only for that temporary building. Right, I've just had a call and my stone's on its way up, so 20 tonne coming now, so we'll go sort that out. Right, we've got all of the foundations all tidied up, all of the chamfers done, and they're looking really nice and tidy actually. I'm actually really pleased with it. So now I just got to, now this has all gone hard, we want to get this 20 tonne of stone spread out, fill in the ruts from the concrete truck, just get it all smoothed off and compacted down so we've got a nice flat surface to work on, so we didn't twist our ankles on this bigger stuff. Right, be a lot of work in the tractor. So that first lot of stone that went down in the first foundation video was 4-inch stone down to dust, and that was to get us out of the mud because you saw how muddy it was, and that's all hardened up now, but when we drove the concrete lorry over it, everything was sinking into it, even the digger was sinking into it when I was laying it down. but because that's gone hard now, I'm happy that anything I put down on it now is going to stay where it is. So this is a 40mm stone down to dust, which will be a much finer stone, less ankle twisters lying around with this stuff. So yeah, just use the little tractor to distribute it around, using that spring-tine harrow to sort of help rake it level as I go. And honestly, I don't know what I'd do without this little tractor and front loader. You know, that little tractor front loader can move that 20 ton pile of stone in, I think I spent about 2 hours doing it, and it used about 1 litre of fuel. So amazing little machine, and saves renting a digger for it. But yeah, just went round, smoothed it all off, got it as close as I could by eye, and then level the rest of it by hand. Got most of the stone dragged out. I think I'm within sort of 50 mil or so all over. It's quite easy to gauge because all these pads are fairly consistent. So yeah, I know I've got a little low spot here. I'm so close now, I'm going to do more damage or mess it up more with the tractor and take too much off or dig in, or you know, so I'm just going to do the rest by hand. I really feel like I'm getting somewhere with this. The worst part of a building is getting this foundation in, or getting a foundation in. It's where all the problems start from. Where all the mud is. It's just the worst bit. We've nearly got it. Right, let's see. So our reference point of level is just at the top mark on that 9. That's our reference point. Let's see where we're at. So we are, I know you can't see that very well, doing my best to line it up, but tiny little bit low, about 20 mil, nothing really. So that's what we're doing here, look. That's what we just sighted through that, and we're just on the just above the bottom of the E. So we are about 20 mil low there, so really nothing, especially seeing as it's not even compacted all over yet. So we're very close now. I'm not going to change that just yet. We'll just look around some other spots. Let's have a look here. This looks like this could be a touch low. Have a look. And that is actually a tiny bit too high, interestingly. Okay, so that could actually come down a little bit, but it needs a bit next to that pillar, so I scraped some over there. So yeah, we've got a tiny little high spot here, so we'll scrape some of that. Geese are having a fight. We're getting there. So yeah, I'm going to just keep going around doing that, slowly creeping up, trying to get the levels right. There we go, that is the foundation done. Well, I suppose it's not really done. I've still got to do the back wall, I've got to do all the little walls around the inside and the drainage and everything, but it's done to a point that we can get on and start the frame. And I think it looks a lot bigger from up there, don't you think? Let's going to be quite the building once it's done. So the next job to do is erect a temporary building. The temporary building is going to go from here, this post, over to that post. So this whole thing will be a temporary building covered in polytunnel tarp. And then this here will be where we stack and store all the timbers. And then once all the timbers are joined, all the joinery's done, everything's stacked up here, the temporary building will come down. And then once the temporary building's down, the whole frame will go up in, 3 or 4 days or something. And yeah, we'll have a barn. Very exciting. So what a relief it is to have that done. And not only done, but done to a really high standard. So really pleased with that. It did test me. I felt like at some points I couldn't do it, but we got there. And that's the thing. Building buildings is really, really hard work. Putting it into a 10 or 20 or 30 minute video, I have to cut out all of the worst bits, all of the hard work gets cut out. Like, this is an enormous amount of work, even with machinery, and it tested me. And that's the thing, you have to do things that test you in life, and that's what I do all the time, and this was one of them. It tested me, I got through it, and now I have an enormous sense of achievement because of it, because I'm proud of it. It's great, it's perfect, it's exactly what I wanted, and yeah, I get a sense of achievement. But at the time, it was not very fun, really difficult to do, really hard to film, and I also understand that it's not the most entertaining thing to watch. But it's done, and now we're going to move on to doing some really nice timber framing and woodwork stuff. So a little bit of milling, temporary building, and then we're on to timber framing. All right, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.